There are so many amazing places to visit in Bali, and I find when families are trying to decide where to stay, they can feel a little bit overwhelmed. And without a doubt, the top question I get asked in my DMs is, where should we stay when we go to Bali? Or if it's not that question, it's a variation of that question, which part of Bali is best for kids, or which area in Bali is safest for families and kids? So to help you plan your trip, if you plan on visiting Bali this year with kids, I thought I would share a surface level guide on the main areas so that you can choose the perfect area for your family holiday. If you want more detail after watching this video series, though, definitely check out my blog as I go into far more detail about each area in the blog. All right, let's start with Kuta. Now, Kuta isn't my favorite place to stay at all, but it is conveniently located near popular family-friendly attractions like Waterbomb Park and Trans Studio that your kids are going to want to go to, and it offers a variety of excellent resorts and shopping centres that have all been designed with families in mind. And because of that, Kuta can be a great spot to have fun as a family. However, my recommendation would be to not make Kuta the only place you stay when in Bali, because you'll likely encounter haggling in this area, which can be tiresome and very overwhelming. And if you only see Kuta, you won't get a true feel for Bali's magic. Also, if you are traveling to Bali in Bali's wet season, don't expect pristine beaches in the Kuta area, as due to the strong currents, a lot of rubbish ends up on the beach and it is not very nice. Legian, let's chat Legian. Super popular choice for families, great place to stay. Legian is nestled right in between bustling Kuta and trendy Seminyak, and there's heaps of budget-friendly accommodation options. It's really a great middle ground for families who are eager to explore Kuta's attractions without immersing themselves fully in Kuta's hustle and bustle. Plus, it also offers really easy access to Instagram-worthy cafes and restaurants that Seminyak is famous for, and there's plenty of places to get $10 massages in Legian. Legian is like literally 3 kilometers in either direction to Kuta or Seminyak. If you walk to the left, you'll hit Kuta. If you walk to the right, you'll hit Seminyak. Now, a lot of people think that the only accommodation option in Legian for families is the Padma Legian, and that is simply not true. Yes, the Padma Legian is a beautiful hotel, but it is not the only place for families to stay. No hate on the Padma Legian. It is a beautiful hotel, but if your budget doesn't afford that option, don't discount Legian as a family-friendly area, because there are plenty of other accommodation options within that area to meet different budgets. Okay, Seminyak. So Seminyak's renowned for its vibrant culinary scene with chic cafes, upscale restaurants. Seminyak really is a foodie's paradise, and it's another great place to stay for first-timers. Super Instagrammable if that's your thing. Seminyak also boasts like a really beautiful beach, and it's known for its unforgettable sunsets, which provide the perfect kind of setting for relaxation and cocktails if that's your thing on holidays. If you want to stay in Seminyak and eat at all of the Instagrammable hotspots, though, don't expect to have the budget Bali holiday that you hear people talking about. While it is cheaper than at home, it's not cheap. So while the restaurants in Seminyak, are cheaper than at home, it's not cheap. And a lot of people get caught out because they've budgeted for a budget holiday but are eating along Eat Street every night, and those restaurants can quickly add up in price, so definitely something to keep in mind. Canggu. While Canggu may have 0 kid-orientated restaurants, it really offers plenty of villas and excellent family-friendly facilities like the facilities at Fins. Fins has a fantastic water park for kids known as Splash. If you've got kids under 10, highly recommend going there. They've got a 10-pin bowling centre and also a trampoline centre as well. And Canggu also boasts a really vibrant cafe culture with numerous vegan and gluten-free options and great coffee. The thing to know about Canggu, though, aside from really, really terrible traffic and the hotel situation, there's limited footpaths there, so that can pose a challenge for strolling with kids or using a pram. and its layout as a whole is a lot less walkable than Kuta, Legian or Seminyak, and it often requires road walking, which isn't the safest option, so definitely keep that in mind. If you are looking for villas and you want to stay in the Canggu area, definitely check out Bali Family Villas. They have some great villas in that area. Okay, Uluwatu and Jimbaran. Uluwatu and Jimbaran, like, breathtaking clifftop views in this area, and it really does exude a romantic ambience. But personally, I feel that both Jimbaran and Uluwatu are better suited to couples. Rather than basing your family here, I would visit these two areas on a day trip and tick off the GWK Cultural Park in the early afternoon, then head on over to Uluwatu Temple and watch the Kikak Fire Dance and watch the sunset in that area because it is absolutely stunning. And then after the Kikak Fire Dance show, you could head on over to Jimbaran Beach for dinner. That honestly will make for a really beautiful day out for your family, but I wouldn't recommend basing yourself in that area if you've got kids, because as I said, it is better suited to couples, honeymooners, etc. Okay, Ubud. So Ubud is nestled in the jungle, offers a really remarkable cultural experience for families with its rice terraces and temples, markets and nearby waterfalls. Like, nonetheless, though, it is important to note that Ubud really has evolved over the past couple of years and has shed a lot of its former tranquility. So if you want to experience the culture and still have all of the beautiful mod cons, Ubud's a great place to stay for a few nights. If you want to experience what Bali was like 15, 20 years ago and see less staged rice terraces, stay elsewhere. And while we're on the topic of Ubud, lots of families really love the monkey forest in Ubud, but I personally find the monkeys here really overwhelming and think that it's better to see monkeys at Uluwatu Temple or on the way up to Candidasa or Cedarman. There's also silver making in Cedarman, which is a great fun activity for older kids, and there is Baltic painting there as well. Okay, Sanur. Now, everyone that knows me knows that Sanur is my favourite family-friendly place to stay. It is where we stay as a family a lot of the time, and despite its nickname of Snore, Sanur is far from a sleepy town, and I feel that Sanur is one of the safest places in Bali for families to stay. Other things I like about it, there is a flat beachfront pathway that's really perfect for strolling with prams, and the calm sheltered bay of water allows for safe swimming. A lot of the other beaches, so Kuta, Legian, Seminyak, have big waves, which isn't ideal for little kids. Moreover, the abundance of restaurants in Sanur really ensures you are spoiled for choice, and most of the restaurants are actually located on the main road or on the beachfront path. So getting to and from dinner venues in Sanur is super, super easy. It's pretty much 7 kilometers. Like, the main tourist part of Sanur is kind of like 7 kilometers long. Yeah. The other thing I like about Sanur is it's away from the super touristy hotspots on the other side of the island, so Kuta, Legian, Seminyak, Canggu, and tends to offer more budget-friendly prices for both hotels and restaurants, as a rule of thumb. Like, honestly, I could go on about Sanur all day, but quickly, the other things I love about it, it serves as an ideal starting or ending point to your Bali adventure, given its proximity to the airport, and it is also a great launch pad for island hopping adventures, with all of the ferries departing from Sanur. So Nusa Lembongan, Nusa Penina, or the Gillies, yeah, all of the ferries depart from Sanur, so it is a great destination. So let's chat Nusa Dua. If you are in search of a luxurious, all-inclusive resort-type experience, Nusa Dua really is an excellent choice for your family holiday. It's home to a variety of family-friendly hotels. You know, they've all got exceptional kids clubs, and it's the place to go if you want to try water sports like parasailing and jet skiing. It's got like pristine, well-maintained beaches. It exudes a gated community ambience. There's lots of security, which also makes it one of the safest places in Bali for families to stay. Sometimes to me though, it does feel like you could be anywhere in the world when you're in Nusa Dua, and the thing I don't like about it so much is that, but there's also not a lot to do there besides eat and hang at resorts after you've done a few hours of water sports. It can also be a little bit pricey due to the large amounts of high-end accommodation in this area. So things like meals and spa treatments are typically far more expensive in this area than other areas of Bali. Okay, let's chat Seminyak, Candidasa and Ahmed. So if you're interested in venturing off the tourist trail and discovering, you know, authentic Bali, places like Seminyak, Candidasa and Ahmed are going to offer your family a glimpse into what the island was like probably like 2 decades ago. And in my opinion, these areas are really all hidden gems and they're yet to be changed by mass tourism. Like you can still see chickens walking down the road and cows that plow paddocks. It'll give you and your family the chance to immerse yourself in Balinese culture. If you stay in these areas, any one of these areas, you can explore, you know, stunning snorkeling in Ahmed. You can like wander through lush rice fields. Seminyak is great for that, not staged ones. There's heaps of temples, heaps of waterfalls close by, breathtaking viewpoints. It is important to note, though, that if you're staying in any one of these 3 areas and you have kids who are picky eaters, their dining options are going to be somewhat limited, with hot chips possibly becoming their go-to meal because Western cuisine is less prevalent in these areas. And services like Grab and Gojek, so that's like the Bali version of Uber and Uber Eats, are non-existent. On the plus side, though, many restaurants in these areas are willing to provide pick-up and drop-off services to and from your hotel, which is super convenient if you're not comfortable riding a scooter, and if you also don't want to be stuck at your hotel eating every meal at the hotel you've chosen to stay at. So that can be super helpful and something to keep in mind. You also won't find large mega resorts in these areas. There's big enough hotels and you can still have a luxury stay, like, you know, there's big pools overlooking the beach, etc., but most hotels and accommodation options in these areas are boutique or family style. They're not, you won't find big chains that have all of the amenities. Okay, lucky last, let's chat about Mundak. So Mundak is nestled in Bali's highlands. It's another area that offers families a really great, tranquil and off the beaten path escape, kind of amongst lush forests and serene rice terraces. Perfect, absolutely perfect choice of destination for a short stay, and can be a really great contrast to the beach, which is like your typical Bali holiday. It's an ideal spot to unwind and enjoy nature, and would you believe it, even sit by the fire, because yeah, Mundak offers much cooler temperatures. There's ATV experiences close by if your kids are old enough. Our son started going on these adventures at about 5, obviously with an adult to drive him. He just kind of went along for the ride, but by 10 he was able to do those things by himself and have his own vehicle. Plenty of waterfall hikes close by. It really does feel like you are in the jungle when you are in Mundak. So yeah, it can be, like I said earlier, a really great contrast to the beach when you're traveling to Bali. I hope these 2 videos have been helpful for you to give you a top overview of which area might be best for your Bali family holiday. As I said in the other video, there is heaps more information on my blog. In conclusion, Bali is a very safe family holiday destination and the kind of place you will find yourself going back to again and again. So don't feel like you need to try and cram everything in and see everything on your first visit. Doing so is a mistake. Like with kids, my experience and advice is to choose 2 areas to stay, or 3 if you are staying for more than 2 weeks, no more. Identify your priorities, whether it's, you know, proximity to a calm beach, an eating holiday, you know, with all amazing food, whether it's, you know, really family-friendly hotels, whether it's cultural experiences, whether it is part beach, part jungle holiday. Like, narrow down your preferences and then shortlist the areas from there. The other thing I thought I would mention actually is that Bali's relatively small, and although traffic is terrible in peak times, you can, for the most part, if you avoid peak travel times, you can really easily hire a driver for the day and take a day trip if you or the kids have your heart set on seeing something in particular. But yeah, my recommendation would be to stay in 1 to 2 areas, or 3 tops if you are staying more than 2 weeks, because it will just ensure a much more enjoyable trip this way for everybody, you and your kids, instead of changing hotels every few nights. So I hope those tips help. And of course, if you are heading to Bali with kids, remember to pack them a Bali travel diary and activity book. They are full of info about Bali, so kids know what to expect. It can definitely help ease travel nerves. Tons of activities to keep them entertained on the plane or when you're out for dinner and you don't want them on a screen. And they're also embedded with QR codes to help them learn the local language and interact with locals while they're on holiday, which is super awesome for their confidence. We've got a junior edition for kids aged between 3 and 6 and a senior edition for kids aged between 7 and 10. All of the cultural information is the same in both editions, as is the video content. It is the learning activities and the diary pages that differ, with the senior edition for bigger kids being more challenging given that they're older. All right, I'll chat to you soon. Have a good day.